What is going on, fellas, and welcome back to another highly requested episode of Donovan Prince. This week we are taking on Green Lake. Yes, the fun and games continues. Don't forget, guys, if we can hit 1K on this video, I'll continue dropping the Donovan Prince RTG. Let's get it. Now, the first thing I would like to address going into this episode, of course, would have to be the debate of where Donovan will be going. This is by far probably the most interesting thing about this series. And I feel like as soon as I announce where he's going to be going, interest is going to dip radically. Because let's be real, it's really interesting to see where he's going to go until he actually reaches college. And then maybe when he goes into the NFL and he gets drafted, that's going to be another really cool thing to do as well. But I've come to a decision, guys. Not where I'm going. I haven't decided that yet. But I have kind of decided that I really don't want to go to a prestigious school. Now, I'm not ruling prestigious schools out entirely. But from what I see in the comment section of almost every single video of Donovan Prince, there's somebody saying, if you go to this 6-star school, I won't be able to watch because it'll annoy me. And, you know, it's the same with everything. Somebody says that about Texas. Somebody says that about Oklahoma. Somebody's saying, if you go to Bama, I can't watch this. I'll even unsub. I don't care if you unsub. Oh! Okay, showing everybody that I got the hands out there. You know, that's the crazy thing about Donovan, is that he's got the hands. He may not be the best when it comes to running it. I'm still trying to get that on lockdown myself. But like this, I want to stick to my route, but I know Steve Merker is some hot garbage though. And I don't want to trust Steve Merker because I know that he's hot garbage. So I've got to make these plays happen myself. Straight through the middle, and how is that not a touchdown? We do pick up first and goal though. We go on first and goal and bang! That's almost too easy. If I get the blocks, it's going to be a touchdown. GG. Thank you, Green Lake, for coming out. Now, back to what I was talking about with the prestigious schools thing. I will show you guys around, right before we hit the playoffs, I'm going to show you guys all the offers that we have currently. And there's a lot of really prestigious schools and a lot that are like, you know, you'll see it when we get there. There was even people coming up with theories, which I absolutely love. Keep in mind that storyline... Oh, hold on a second. Check out this screenplay. This is exactly how you butcher a screenplay. I run in the back of my own O-lineman. That could have been busted out for at least 30-40 yards, but instead we have to kick it back to Green Lake. Even though they got trash-ass offense and they can't put any points on us, it's still kind of frustrating that we're only up 7-0. Now again, retracing where I was talking about, of course the decision is going to be based upon inevitably where you guys want Donovan to go. The majority is what I want to call it. And on top of that, storyline will be introduced definitely. I just really... Oh, wow. Nice spin move though. I hope my spin move is like a clean 90 when I get to college. I just want to get to college before we start going in on the storylines. Now, it's going to be pretty much exactly the same as the subs. Obviously, with the slugs, we can't do personal, even though we've dabbled kind of in people's backstories and such, and there's a lot of good friends of mine that message me on Twitter and send me a lot of backstories for a lot of players. We haven't really emphasized. In Donovan, however, because the whole series is revolving around one player, we can easily have backstories. This happens, that happens, challenges. While I'm on the topic of challenges, there was somebody who dropped a comment about 2 episodes back. I'll get back to this in a second, but we end up picking up the easy dub versus Green Lake. Well, I shouldn't really say easy. We only beat them 7-0, which is kind of trash. But still, a dub is a dub. Well, actually, we got the field goal. Hold on a second now. Hold on a second now. We pick up the field goal. That's 10 points, my dude. And our defense did a fabulous job of holding them to 0 points. What a garbage play of the game. We pick up 145 yards on the ground, but our saving grace in this game was definitely the 103 receiving yards. We only get a little bit of recruiting points though, and we do get offers from both Texas and Oklahoma. Obviously, I have to take them. There's nothing I can do about that. But here we go. This is where things get interesting right here. We get Stanford, Washington, and Washington State. Now, I might have missed somebody's comment because these are 3 really good schools, and I'm almost certain somebody would have dropped them down. But just personally, I did not see one comment for either 3. So I made the decision to go with Dion Buchanan's college team, Washington State. And in week 7, we are taking on 0-6 Creighton Blue Jays, a rival of Nebraska Omaha Mavericks. This is going to be a pretty solid game and a good way to end the season, going up against a team that hasn't even won a singular game yet. See, that's a face mask. Trying to get dirty with me. You can even see Donovan pointing to his face. I got to get a little bit of payback. I'm going to truck somebody. And I'm the one who ends up getting flattened. This is definitely a rivalry game. You can just tell from how nitty gritty everybody is. There's a lot of aggression. You know, this is bad blood right here. But getting back to what I was talking about in the last game, talking about the challenges, there was somebody who left a comment on episode 1 who pretty much exactly replicated what I wanted to do with the accessories. Now, the accessories are a big part of the Donovan Prince franchise, the dynasty, the RTG. And they said if you can become a 5-star recruit, you can get 1 accessory. So I don't remember who the name of that individual was, but you can choose what our first piece of accessory is going to be. Drop it down in the comment section for me. If I get too many people saying, oh, that was me and I want you to do this, I'll just go back and check it myself. But if that person is watching from episode 1, do not hesitate to put it down in the comment section what you would like to see. And that, my friends, is a perfect example of how we are going to get our accessories. Week by week or even season by season, we're going to be setting challenges for ourselves. And if we can achieve those, we will get accessories. These can be the ankle things. These can be sleeves, shoulder bands. I don't know. Shoes. We're rocking with the generics right now, bro. We've got like the 2Ks on. But we're just rocking out with the generic shoes right now, my dude. I would definitely like to get some Nikes on or some Adidas. I don't really care as long as we get something on. As we slide in the end zone for our second touchdown of the day, this game's going to be a lot better than our last game against Green Lake. That is 110% confirmed. Already up 14-0. We couldn't even drop 14 on him in an entire game. But of course, Steve Merker, being bitch-ass Steve Merker, decides to overthrow that straight into the end zone. I don't know why it showed a visual of me. See, look at the cutback. I'm creating offense for Steve Merker, but the pass is overthrown. I ran in a straight line, my dude. He's going to throw it up again. I didn't even call for it. I would understand if I called for that, but I was trying to run the same play where I run to the left and cut back because it got me so much space last time. Steve Merker decides to throw it, and it's another interception inevitably. My passing is going to have to get us out of the slums in this game. Creighton has dropped 7 on us, man. They are not out of this game by any means. 2 seconds to go in the half. I'm trying to just get as many yards as I possibly can at this point. You know, we've already pretty much wrapped up being a 5-star recruit on the least amount of games possible. But once again, after getting sacked twice, Steve Merker overthrows a pass. He's not having a great game against Creighton. I don't know. If we're going into the playoffs, I'm going to need him to be in tip-top shape. And Donovan's struggling in saying that. He's had a couple of good runs here and there as Creighton lines up for the field goal. And they're going to slot it. That is a dot, my dude. 35 yards. What's that? Like a 45-yarder? Interesting. It's now a 14-10 game going into the final quarter. We're going to get some more points on the board, and I'm not talking about a field goal. I want to get a touchdown, and there's only one person on this entire team that can apparently get it. Steve Merker, your time as quarterback has come to an end, my dude. We definitely need to get a dub in this game. I'm not sure if you can get kicked out of the playoffs if you play in the high school saga. I've never seen it happen to me before, but if we lose 2 games, I've never lost 2 games before. I've definitely lost 1 in the entire high school saga, but I've never lost 2 before, so I'm not exactly sure what happens if you lose 2, and I don't really want to find out, my dude, as I cut it out to the right and run straight over the linebacker. Number 44 gets his ass run over by you, Donovan Prince, on the line. You are not stopping him. He's like a tank. 21-10, and I find a nice little gap, and we put this game in the bag right as we finish it up. We got 245 yards. That seems to be some kind of a trend. We also had 4 rushing touchdowns on the day, so not putting such an emphasis on our receiving yards this game, but our rushing, which is what we are trying to achieve here. We get an offer from Washington State, and here we get an interesting 3. Alabama, Arizona, and Arkansas, AAA. I don't want to go Bama because, as I said at the beginning of the video, people are going to bitch about it. So I decided to go with Arizona. And going into the playoffs, these are every single team, like I can't speak English. This is every single team that has offered us a scholarship thus far. So you got Wyoming, Marshall. Wyoming, surprisingly, is a popular choice amongst you guys. I saw a lot of you saying go to Wyoming. I think at this point, in terms of the worst schools that have offered us, Marshall and Wyoming are like neck and neck. I saw a couple people for UNLV. I wouldn't even mind that. The reasoning behind that was, hey. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is this? How are you going to have me throwing the ball? I think they took that Steve Merker thing I said a couple games back a little bit too serious. And check out the bunny hop. This is the first game I've ever tried that little bunny hop cheese. It looked like I just jumped about 10 yards. I gotta say, it's like I'm competing for the long jump championship out here. Forget football, we're changing our major to long jump. But this is the playoffs right here, and this is the knockouts as well. You know what? I might even do a what if series. I might see what happens if you lose every single game in high school. I think that would be rather interesting, to say the least. Because this is knockout playoffs right here. We're taking on Crete. I've never heard of this team before. If this is a real team, let me know. I'm trying to expand my football knowledge. I don't know. The brown and blue, I don't know anybody in their right mind who would make their school brown and blue, potentially. I definitely wouldn't make my school brown and blue. I'm telling you that right now. But still, we're nearly at the halfway point, and nobody has put any points on the board. Steve Merker gets sacked twice again. I can't get off my man. This guy is sticky as shit. All I'm trying to do is create space for myself because I know Steve Merker is going to either overthrow it or throw it in it. Like, look, you had 2 people wide open. The man on the side, the safety isn't going to be able to cover both of them, Steve. Just throw it up. What are you waiting for? They're going to leave it all up to you, Donovan Prince. And not only am I playing Crete or Crete, I still don't know. It sounds like a popular breakfast. I have to win this game all by myself. 18 rushes for 99 yards in the third quarter is not good. We're used to racking up at least 240, man. I'm trying to get that 240, but here we go on the screenplay. We butchered it last time. Going out to the outside. Break 1. Break 2, but it's still not going to be enough. In fact, we lost a yard. We lost a yard on that screenplay. How does that make any sense? But at least I'm giving it to the Crete defenders. And here we go. This is my favorite play because you get so much space. The blocks are on point. I get pancakes and I'm going to the house even with my slow speed. Nobody is going to catch me at this point, my dude. That's GG. It's all over. There's not even that much time in the game. If they can't score on the next drive like they don't, we get the ball back. And once again, I'm running up the sideline, stiff arm for good measure, and dive prematurely. How about that? You know, I always dive prematurely because you always end up in the end zone. They always give it to you. But this is the one time the EA actually decided to troll me. So I have to go back to it. I have to make sure I solidify this second damn touchdown. Luckily, we get in. I thought I was going to get trolled even more. But that's going to do it for the game, folks. 14-0. Donovan finishes as a high school king. 254 yards in that game, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 receptions for 17 yards, and we get some interesting offers. West Virginia, Texas Tech, and TCU. Now, there was 1 for Texas Tech. However, there were 3 for West Virginia. I'm a massive Carl Joseph fan as well, so I just couldn't resist. I had to end up going with West Virginia. I know they got some dope jerseys like the gray one, the blue one, the white one. I think they even have a yellow one. Next episode, we are going to be taking on 7-0 Chadron. Remember guys, if you want to see episode 4, let's try and hit 1K likes on this video, and I'll see you then. Peace. Tell me pretty lies.